who's fixing to do an educational presentation on home remedies. And I'm sure it's going to be fantastic because I've seen some of her YouTube stuff and she's great. So welcome, Jax. Just talk.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, we're on. Yeah, it is kind of cold.
I'm going to turn it.
Yeah, good idea. But what I just did is take some cayenne pepper with some water just to warm myself up while I was up here, because it's so important to keep our organs and glands nice and warm. This is why I like going outside during the summertime. It's always cold inside. All right, so my name is Jax. I am a health and a wellness guide. I don't heal anybody. Everybody heals themselves. And today's workshop is all about the home remedies. It's inspired by Barbara O'Neill. She is a naturopathic physician from Australia. She actually got banned and censored in Australia for teaching people how to naturally heal themselves. So I somehow connected with her, and she's taught me a lot. She's a mentor. She's somebody that does this all over the world. I mean, she does other classes too, but this is one of her workshops that I actually got inspired to do it as well. And it's so simple, very effective, and very affordable. So all the things here, pretty much, you can either buy at the grocery store or you can grow it yourself, okay? So Barbara O'Neill has a book called Heal by Design. That's her book. It's really amazing, very educational, all about how the body functions and works, down to the cellular structure, to the microbiome, you name it. So understanding the temple and the body is super important for our own healing. And I think homesteading and health care goes together. Because if you don't have the health, you're not going to be able to do homesteading. You're not going to have the energy. You're not going to have the stamina. And I think it's very important to be proactive in our health, in our keeping this body, the temple, in order. So I say it's either going to be in disorder or in order. So we associate that with disease or ease, right? But I call it order and disorder. The word order comes from the Hebrew word or, which means light. And in Hebrew, light is order. That's where we get the word order from. So we want to make sure we have order in our homestead and order in our temples. And that's super important for homesteading. All right, so the first thing we're going to be talking about is onion. So Bruce told me to use this as an onion prop, so I am. This is garlic, but right now it's going to be onion. I had an onion, but it got chopped, so we're going to be using this. Now, the first thing to know about an onion is that it is high in potassium and sulfur, okay? It's phosphorus, I'm sorry. So, onion can be used internally or orally. Let's go ahead and talk about how you can use it for an earache. Super simple, especially with children. Having this remedy could be very soothing for children and adults too, but if it's on a Saturday and you don't want to take, your child is crazy with a fever and earache is a thing, if you have an onion in the cabinet, you can whip this up and be proactive. So my lifestyle is all about being proactive and not having to wait. Yes, call 911 if you need to, because they're amazing at putting things together in a very fast manner, but we want to be proactive, so that's what we're going to be doing here. So if we're doing it for an earache, take the entire onion, don't peel it. You don't want to peel it, and you're going to put it in water. So you're going to boil it for about 30 minutes till it gets really soft. You want it really, really soft. You can probably poke a hole in it. The skin is going to keep all the juices of the onion right inside. Okay, so you know how sometimes we cut an onion this way, like the rings? You need to cut it long ways, okay? When you cut it long ways, it's going to be easier to squeeze out some of the juice into a little bowl and that is the juice that you can use a dropper and put a couple drops in the ear of the child, of the adult, whoever needs it. And then you can take the other half and you can wrap it in a flour sack or a cotton t-shirt or any kind of cloth, and you can use it as a compress and put it right on the ear as a compress. So the heat is going to help with the pain. Onion draws out inflammation. It's going to soothe the infection because it does have antibacterial properties. So if you're dealing with an ear infection, it's probably bacterial. And so that's how you could use it as an ear infection remedy. All right, so now for another fun part you could do, especially with children, because if you have children, this is kind of what I do at home. And this is what I basically have done for my kids since they were young. If you take an onion and you chop it up, so chop up your onion, and you're gonna need a jar. Now make enough, we're gonna make a syrup, cough syrup. Okay, so that's what we're doing. Get a jar, make sure you have a lid, and you're gonna chop up your onion. And all you're gonna do is layer your onion right into your jar with honey and onion. And as the honey stays with the onion, it's going to liquefy, okay? And you want to fill it up, so you just want to make sure you just keep filling up, and it doesn't go bad. So you can actually, once you get it filled, you're going to leave it on your counter for 24 hours. Within 15 minutes, you will have syrup that you can use right away. But leaving it overnight is going to be more potent. And the next day, you're going to strain it. Once you strain it, that liquid will stay really well in the refrigerator for months. You don't have to keep making it. I like to make small amounts at a time. All right, so see how simple this is? And you want to fill up that onion with the honey and make sure it's submerged so that it doesn't get moldy. And then you're just going to put your lid on. And that's it. You have a cough syrup for the children, for yourself, for anybody. Leave it, you're going to strain it the next day. And that liquid is what is the cough syrup. So now you didn't have to go to CVS and buy whatever the cough syrups over there are. This is very effective and it works super well. The other thing you can use it for, as far as onion, you can make a poultice. So I really like these flour sacks. They come like this. You can buy these at the Dollar General. Super handy. Have them in your home. Have them cut up already. So here's an example. I'm going to make a poultice. And for a cough, especially for consistent cough, you try the syrup and you still need more, you can take some of the onion and just put it right on the cloth and just wrap it up. And I've done this for Aria a lot of the times too, and she can sleep with it. And then, so you're gonna make like a pack, okay? And this goes underneath your feet. So the feet has the largest pores of your body. So it's gonna get right in there and it's gonna go where the medicine is needed in your body. So it's amazing how the body knows what to do with it, right? You give it the natural ingredients and natural environments and it does heal itself. So you're gonna put this with perhaps saran wrap, put it there, put your sock on and have the child or yourself sleep with it and it's gonna calm down the cough. Remember, onion is a drawer. It draws out inflammation and bacteria and any pathogens. Now, one thing to know about onions is that because it does draw out a lot of air impurities, you can use it as an air purifier in your refrigerator, even though it's kind of stinky, right? But it actually draws in to itself those odors. Now, I don't promote eating raw onion all the time because one of the number one issues with food poisonings is coming from the onions from, like, say, a potato salad. That's one of the reasons people get food poisoning, because of the onion that's in that potato salad. So when you can saute your onion or add some lime to it just to kind of cook it, and then that way you are, again, being proactive and avoiding some kind of food health crisis. All right, someone here. All right, so we're gonna check on this in a bit, and just to see how it's doing, but we're gonna let that sit there. The next powerful, vegetable that you can grow is garlic. Easy to grow, I think. I've never really successfully grown garlic, but you can. We are gonna make a fermented garlic syrup with this. Now, garlic is a powerful antibiotic. So here's your natural antibiotic. You need about 3 cloves to equal a dose of the most common antibiotic that you get prescribed at the doctors. So 3, and you can eat it raw, you can eat it however you want. Put it in guacamole, roast it. But for this one, right here, I already have some fermented and it never goes bad. It's that honey, it's gonna preserve it because of the sugar content in that honey. But I'm going to fill this up, and you don't need to chop up your garlic. You're just going to basically fill the jar up, and you're gonna add honey. And this is gonna sit on the counter. Well, the first week you need to burp it every single day, at least a couple times a day. Very important, or you're gonna have a very big explosion mess, okay? You're gonna put your lid on, and I normally like to put like a bowl or a plate underneath it just to kind of prevent that from happening. After a couple of days, you only need to burp it once a day, and then once a week, and then after that, you can just leave it. Put it in a dark cabinet and store it. And this is what I give Ari for her antibiotics. So if I feel like she's coming down with something, I'll just give her some of the honey. I don't really see her, she never has eaten the garlic, but you can eat the garlic, the adults can. It's really handy for children though, because it's sweet, and it's just a teaspoon, right? You're not giving her a whole shot. And this will sit out after you burp it in your cabinet, and it doesn't go bad. So I just replenish that, and then you can give it once it's burped and the fermentation has happened, because there's going to be enzymes in here that are also really good for your digestion, which is another process that your body uses to heal itself. Correct the microbiome, you're going to correct many things. Yes.
So do you leave the garlic cloves in there then?
Yeah, you don't strain it like the onion. You strain the onion, you don't strain the garlic. Okay. Now let's see. Now you can. There is on my website. There is a under home remedies, and it's under a tab. It says DIY. There is a recipe for the flu bomb. That's what I call it, the flu bomb shot. And it uses garlic. So that's another one you can quickly, kind of put together if somebody is sick in the home and they need really fast tending. So you can, and that one has ginger, garlic, eucalyptus, and the entire recipe for that is there. I'm not going to make that one today, but it is on my website. The other way you can use garlic, especially for like a little baby, is you take the garlic and you are going to slice, I don't have a knife here, right? I do. You're going to slice just a bit, very, very thin. So, like this, just very thin. You're not going to mash it up, you're not going to do anything to it. You're going to wrap it up in the flour sack. Do not let it touch the skin. Very important, because it will create a blister, okay? The body will know what to do. but you don't want to touch the skin. So you put the garlic on a cloth, and then you put it against the feet, and then you put the sock on the child, and it's a natural way to get the antibiotics into that toddler or infant who's not going to take honey. But you can use garlic in that way for a smaller child. And I've done this with Ari, 1 month old, with a little sock. I'm like, okay, no doctor was needed in that situation. All right, so the next one we're gonna go to, I think I got. Now,
do you just do it on one foot, or
you could do both feet. I typically did it on both feet. Yeah, on both feet, and the same thing with the onion. You can do both feet at the same time. All right, so we're gonna move on to a potato. Potato is, you can grow this again. Any kind of potato, it does not matter which potato you use, as long as it's not a sweet potato. It's not going to work with a sweet potato or a yam, not like that, just a regular potato. And what you're going to do with this one, you don't need to worry about peeling it or like that. You're just going to grate it, and you're going to make a poultice. Now, potatoes are high in potassium as well, and they also are a drawer. They draw infections out. And what I like potatoes for is anything muscle related. So if you have like you sprained a muscle, or you've been working hard and your muscles are aching, or you have, so anything muscle related, remember, potato is going to help you with that because of the potassium in it. And it's going to soothe the muscle, help it from cramping up. Again, we're going to make a poultice, and if you have these already made in your homestead, you have like a basket already pre-made with these, super easy. You're going to grate your potato. Move this out of the way. You put your potato right on the sackcloth on your poultice, and then you're going to spread it out. You're going to make it as big as you need it to cover the surface area that you're trying to tend to. And then you're just going to fold it. It doesn't matter how you fold it as long as you make like a pack. So, and then this is the side that goes against the body. So this is the side that goes against the skin. What you want to do, you want to create kind of like a sauna. And so this is where the saran wrap will come in handy. You put it on the saran wrap, and then you can wrap your arm, your leg, whatever it is, and wrap it up. And then you can secure it with an ace bandage. So having a whole bunch of these at home is very handy. And then you can walk with it, you can sleep with it. You're not going to overdose on it, and it's going to bring relief. Now, it can also be used for splinters. Like if your kids have splinters, it will draw out the splinter from the skin. I know Ari does not like me to get the splinter out. She always asks for potato poultice, so I will. I'll do that, and I'm like, okay, you're fine. So that is the potato. Let's see if I had missed anything here. All right, so I actually have used this potato concept on my cat one time. They got fixed, and one of them developed a infection around that area, okay? It was very, very swollen, so a lot of discomfort with them walking around. I made a potato poultice, and somehow I secured it to the cat, where I saw that it was red. Within 15 minutes, that cat had gone outside and started jumping, and because it brought down the inflammation, okay? So use it on your pets. I've used it on other things. Yeah.
So should the potato poultice go, is that also on the feet, would you say, or can you put it on the area that's not?
Yeah, any of the muscle areas that you're trying to soothe or bring healing to.
So you can put it directly on that area, is it more effective that way?
Yeah, you put it, yeah. Yeah, so this one doesn't, you can put it on the foot if you have an injury on the foot, on the ankle, whatever, but it's really more directed at the area that you're trying to tend.
And then, sorry, the cloth that you use, is that like Wait, what is it called again?
It's flour sacks. It's from, this is from Dollar Store. They have a whole bunch. You can also use t-shirts, like any old t-shirts, anything that's 100% cotton. So whatever makes it easier or more affordable. All right, let's see. The next powerhouse, yeah.
So what about swelling? Say like your knee is swelling or something. Would that be good
Okay.
for that?
Yes, so we're gonna go right into the ginger. So a knee is a joint, so you have all that. It's like anywhere you're bending is a joint, and this is where ginger comes in. Ginger is hot, but it also helps with pain and drawing inflammation out from those joints. So ginger is for joints, where the potato is going to be for muscle. Okay, and you're going to do the same thing with the ginger. Make sure you have a grater. You can also chop it up if you don't have a grater, but you can get one of those at the dollar store or the thrift market. I don't know. So with the ginger, same thing. You're going to make a poultice. And what you would do in that case, now ginger's going to get hot. If you can stand it, leave it on as long as you can stand it. It's not going to burn a hole in your skin. It's not going to, it just might bring you a little bit of discomfort, but after the initial shock, the pain goes away and you'll be able to move your joints again. So you want to grate the ginger and you're going to put it right on your cloth and you're going to fold it, again, creating that poultice. Okay, this is what goes against the skin, against the joint, and then you're gonna secure it with your ace bandage. Okay, you can use it for your back, so in backaches, kidney health, like sometimes the kidneys need to be warm. It's very important to, because remember the kidneys are filtering out, so if they get cold, they're gonna get stuck. You know, good for the kidneys, good for anything joints. So use your ace bandage, and again you're going to create a sauna with it using the saran wrap. So and then you're going to wrap it up. Okay,
This is the ginger, right?
ginger, yeah. Ginger, let's see, there's ginger. You can also use it as it's in the flu balm, so it's an anti-inflammatory. It's also a prebiotic for your good gut bacteria. So taking ginger on a daily basis might be helpful for restoring your microbiome. And a prebiotic means it's food for the biotics. So you have the biotics, the probiotics and the prebiotics. Let's see if there's anything else about ginger. Now, so we're going to put this over here. The next powerhouse, and I know you can grow this because I have grown a lot of it, is cayenne pepper. And cayenne pepper is an amazing superpower herb. I keep her around in all forms, in my purse, in my cabinets, in my car, everywhere I go, we take cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper is not only a vessel dilator, but it also helps move the blood and keep the blood nice and thin, so it helps with clotting. So if there is a situation where clotting is an issue, cayenne pepper might be helpful for you. Now, if you're on blood thinners, you might want to check with your doctor before you get on cayenne pepper because it does thin the blood. So you don't want to do anything to disrupt your medications, but if you have cayenne pepper, it can stop a heart attack or prevent a stroke, which with a stroke, time is of an essence. You need, like I say, yes, call 911, but you need to make sure you're being proactive, right? So if I'm having, and I've had to do this with, I was teaching this class and somebody had a stroke. I had a tincture. I was able to get to them. They had called the ambulance, right? And she started getting a little bit better. But with, like, again, with a stroke and a heart attack, time is of an essence, right? And we have to be proactive. So what if we had this in our purse and, Now, for cayenne pepper, you can also use it to move the blood to the extremities, so the feet and the hands. A lot of peripheral neuropathy happens because of diabetes, chemotherapy, and like just in general bad circulation. One way to use that, besides taking it internally, like in capsules, if you know, like I don't know if you all saw me make a little shot real quick. I was getting cold. I want to warm myself up. Instant heater here. Take the cayenne pepper, and you're gonna need some type of oil because the oil is gonna really help keep that cayenne pepper in place, to stay in place. So for that, you're going to need, and I brought this just to illustrate how you could do it on your foot. Again, there's your sack, the cloth, and you're going to first put your oil. So you're gonna put the oil down just generously, and then you're going to sprinkle your cayenne pepper and just spread it around. Okay, and then and you want the cayenne pepper to soak through. So you're gonna use a lot of oil. So there it goes. Okay. All right. So let's see how it's gonna. When you do it for reals, you need to soak this up and make sure it has a lot of cayenne pepper in it. Then you're gonna put this on your foot. So say we're dealing with getting circulation to your feet. Put your foot right on here. You're gonna take your plastic bag and you're gonna put your poultice right in there, put your foot in there, secure it, and you're going to create a sauna again. Okay, that cayenne pepper is gonna heat things up and it's going to move that blood right where it's needed. Now, just again, internally, make sure you check with your doctor because it is a blood thinner. And you can use this also for not just your feet or your hands, but you can also use it to restore cell regeneration in any cuts. You can use it for stopping blood. Very simple. Like, I think Mike had an accident with his hammer, and I just poured a whole bunch of cayenne pepper in there. Must have hurt, but...
Well, if you want me to speak a little, I'll say one comment on cayenne pepper I've learned from her, okay? Internally, it's amazing, but I tend to have a sensitive stomach. So I've learned that she taught me was the trick is like take it with some food, and you won't get that. It can if I do it on an empty stomach, like in 20 minutes my stomach will burn. I think I gotta run to the toilet or something. But it's like just the cayenne pepper on an empty stomach. So kind of one of the tricks I've learned is I take it routinely, and I always take it with some food in my stomach.
Well, can you tell them about your hand and how accident that happened with your hand?
So I was going to say that I didn't want to take away your...
Well, I'll give you 30 seconds.
I had a major accident on a piece of equipment where I crushed my hand between some rollers that pulled paper through. Extreme amount of tension, they had to wrench it out anyhow. Long story short, ER went there, they stitched everything up, sewed everything up. It was work related, so I had to go through all that process. They hooked me up with a doctor. First couple of weeks, the doctor looked at my one finger and he wanted to amputate it. I was like, well, if they have to amputate, they amputate, right? When he said, let's schedule an amputation, that's reality set in. They cut it off, it's gone forever. Jax was away. Her friend she mentioned earlier, Barbara O'Neill, was in contact with me. We used all these natural remedies on my hand. Between, I can't remember everything you had me on, there was probably like 11 bottles of pills, okay? But understand, none of these are pharmaceutical. Everything is natural. Everything from garlic to cayenne to all these different things. So she told me, and Barbara said what they wanted to do instead of doing an amputation, and I understood that, and I'm like, it just sounded painful. It was exactly what she's expressing here, is where between the internal and external, but literally I was wrapping my hand in cayenne pepper, okay? The cayenne pepper was drawing the circulation to create the healing in the hand. Fast forward 2 years later, when they finally, the doctor released me from his care, he commented that he was pretty much surprised and amazed that my finger had not needed amputation. He said he thought for sure like gangrene was going to set in and everything, and he would have to amputate and everything like that. So, you know, I said, hey, I didn't take any pharmaceuticals for the whole thing. I did everything natural, and like I said, the doctors were pretty much surprised and amazed. I'm like, hey, I followed what they said and what they did, and yeah, today then I have a fingernail on it. It's a little different than the other ones, but I have 75% functionality in that hand. But again,
Okay.
everything was all natural. And the only other point I wanted to put out is, it's been a few years, but in our household now with her, with all the natural home ingredients, remedies and stuff like that, we don't even have Advil anymore. You know, and I came to a realization that like I had a personal belief that everything that we need was put here on this earth for us and given to us, and what everybody's doing here and growing everything natural, everything's out there. It's just a matter of learning how to use it again.
Amen.
So
All
that's
right.
my 3 minutes. I'm
All
sorry.
right, that's okay.
30 seconds.
So another thing about cayenne pepper that is really good to know is that it really helps build hydrochloric acid in your stomach. So if we need to repair the gut, a lot of it is just because there's a lot of low stomach acid, right? Low stomach acid is going to make it really hard for you to absorb minerals and vitamins that are essential for powering up the temple. Taking cayenne pepper, it helps build HCl in your stomach. It's a natural painkiller too, so it really helps with that. And I'm going to demonstrate a natural pain remedy that you guys can try if you want to, and how I would make this. And you can have it every 20 minutes, every 10 minutes, every hour, depending on how much you need, and you're not going to overdose on it. That's the nice thing. There's no side effects.
So for the poultices,
Yeah.
the cayenne pepper, you can use like powdered, like ground, you know, the kind you get as a spice, like in that jar. It doesn't need to be like fresh.
No. For the poultice, you want to do powder. It'll be just a lot easier to work with. I do make a tincture from cayenne pepper that in a pinch, I will put it under somebody's tongue if they're having an emergency, just to revive them. I have also heard of veterinarians using it for pets, to like they'll bring pets that have been like hit by a car, and the shock of it will make the dogs or cats or whatever animal just go into like shock. It revives them from that shock just by giving them cayenne pepper, and they've stopped bleeding with the cayenne pepper.
And they can get those in pill forms too, which makes it easy to take. That is my Advil alternative, honestly.
All right. As far as the how much you use in your foot, you want to do about a half a teaspoon per foot. So, and then a generous amount of olive oil, any kind of oil, just make sure it's a good oil. You can use tallow if you want to, that's fine.
Aloe vera is okay also?
You can do aloe vera, anything that's going to make the cayenne pepper powder stick, right? And aloe vera, I do have a bonus aloe vera notes here, but we'll go over that in a second. Now the next one that we're going to do real quick is mustard. Now this is the first time I have talked about mustard in this class. I actually took some stuff out just to make the class a little concise, and I made it part 2. So I have a part 1 and part 2. Part 1 is about everything that you can either grow or buy at the grocery store. And then part 2 is other things that you probably should have in your homestead in bulk. Those are other remedies, the different, the things you would have to purchase outside the, say, the grocery store. Now mustard, where are we at? Mustard is really good for chest congestion. It lessens cough, so it's an expectorant. It has a plant compound called isothiocyanate that helps remove toxins from the body, including xenoestrogens and any any toxins that are generated from like grilled meats or charred foods. Every time you cook your foods, you're generating toxins. So just be mindful of that. So any foods that have been heated is going to create those toxins. Migraines is really good for migraines, headaches, improves digestion, cramps or Charlie horse, so you can also use it for muscle cramping, and inflammation in general. Now, the way you would use mustard is you're gonna need to, again, you're gonna make a poultice, but you're gonna need some type of, like a bowl, and you're gonna use 1/4 cup of dried mustard, and you're gonna put it in here. I'm just gonna do a small amount just so you guys can see, okay? Now, you do want some kind of flour. You're gonna make a, remember, you're gonna make a paste, or you can use flaxseed or psyllium husk would be another option if you don't have flour. You just put a little bit in there, and then you're just gonna add some water, just a little bit. The whole goal is to make a mush or a paste. So this, you're gonna need a lot more than this. This is very liquidy. So this is why you need a 1/4 cup. All right, so it's getting a little bit thicker, and the psyllium husk or the flaxseed is gonna make it into like a gel. Now, once you have that gel, then you can go ahead and put it in your poultice again, and you can put it on the chest if you're dealing with a chest congestion. If you can put it on your feet. Remember, putting your feet is going to go right to the lungs because the body knows what to do with that medicine. You can use it same way as you do any poultice. With a poultice, all you need is the saran wrap and a cotton cloth, and then your mustard paste. And then you're gonna put the mustard paste right on your cloth, spread it around, and it's already gotten really thick, really fast. And you're gonna fold it up. Now, this is gonna get hotter than ginger, okay? So if it starts getting really, really hot, take it off, okay? If you can leave it on for 15 minutes, that's great, okay? That's pretty much all you need. So you could do it in 15 minutes increments, so take a break. And then again, I would put it on my chest if I was dealing with like bronchitis or something that was congestion. You can also take it orally with literally doing the same thing I just did, except you're not gonna add flour or psyllium husk, you're just gonna add honey. So you can get a mug or a cup, a teaspoon of mustard, teaspoon of honey, hot water. Now it sounds kind of weird, but drink that. It's gonna bring a lot of relief to your chest and the congestion. Okay. If you have a headache, that's an amazing way to take it in internally.
What were the amounts for that?
For the
Internal?
Oh, okay. So I would just take like a teaspoon of dried mustard, and then about a teaspoon of honey or to taste, and then like a cup of hot water. So you're gonna make a tea, essentially. Okay. All right. All right. So right now I'm gonna show you how to make just a simple, natural home remedy for pain. Okay. This recipe is on my website, which is nomadicwonders.com. So you will find this there.
Can you say that website again?
It's Nomadic Wonders, WONDERS.com.
Do those link to your videos as well? Your educational videos?
Yes. Or you can find me on.
Educational videos.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube. I think it's at Jack's Temple Health. If you just type in Jack's Temple Health or Jack's Nomadic, you're gonna find me there. All right. So the first thing you're gonna need is a blender. Very important. See, this works. Okay, that works. You're gonna need a cup or 2 cups of distilled water or spring water, just not chlorinated water. You want health, right? We don't want toxic. So really clean water is going to be important. Hot paprika. Now the profile with paprika and cayenne are very similar, but they do have different compounds that do different things. Hot paprika is kind of hard to find, so this is something that you probably would have to order unless you find it at the grocery store. You're gonna do 1 tablespoon. Let me see. So we're gonna do 1 tablespoon of the hot paprika. All right, I'm gonna say that's about 1.
That's different from regular paprika.
Yeah, so hot paprika is gonna be spicy, where regular paprika is not. It's just gonna be not. And then you're gonna need cayenne pepper. You can do 1 teaspoon or you can do 2 teaspoons. I'm just gonna do 1 teaspoon today. And you don't need to be like, it's just, you just dump. You don't need to be precise, okay? If you don't have measuring spoons, you don't need to do all that. You're going to add, okay, so let's talk about this. This is the bioflavonoids. It's the white part of a citrus, so you're gonna find it in grapefruits, lemons, and oranges. These are all from a grapefruit. And what I do, when I get a grapefruit, I peel the inside, the white part, and I dry it. And it stays, it's not gonna go bad. This is the bioflavonoid. This is where the vitamin C is in your citrus. Okay, you're gonna have it concentrated here. And you need about 1/3 cup or so you can just measure it out. Put some in there. And if you have this already in your cabinet, you don't need to, I'm like, oh no, I need that. If you already have it in your cabinet, it's easy, right? You can use it for medicine. All right, so I'm gonna put that in there. And you're gonna put a thumb of ginger in there, and it goes. Now this is a turmeric. You can put fresh turmeric or you can do ground turmeric. It's up to you. And as far as the 1 tablespoon of the turmeric is a powerful anti-inflammatory as well. It also does help with circulation, and so does ginger. Where's my ginger at? Right here. Ginger tends to go towards the smaller capillaries in your system, where cayenne pepper will do more the arteries and the veins. So they're working together, right? So here, I'm just gonna add this. Okay, turmeric goes in there. And you can add your garlic. Here's your antibiotic. Okay, you can add 1 clove. You can add 3 cloves. I'm just gonna add 1 for this recipe. And then you're gonna add pineapple. Now, I know I had a core here.
I'm sorry, I didn't know you did that.
Now, pineapple is an amazing fruit because it's bromelain, and it's an enzyme that helps not only with pain, but inflammation. And the concentration is going to be in your core of the pineapple. So it's going to be, this is what you want for the enzyme, the bromelain enzyme, and it's really good for allergies as well. So, powerhouse. Now, so you're gonna add, this is a whole pineapple here. Really a small, like if I was doing a bigger batch, which I'm not, I would add the whole thing. But you wanna make this in the amount that you think you're gonna use it up within 3 to 5 days. Because you're dealing with raw foods, it's gonna go bad, right? So I'm now going to, I think that's my max. Add it all in there. Where's my, there it is. And then you're gonna add honey. And then honey, we have the enzymes of honey. Raw honey is gonna be the best. Don't use fake honey. You need the live enzymes in here. And you're gonna do about 1 teaspoon to 3 teaspoons. It just depends on how much you want. Hopefully this will blend okay. Now I put about 2 cups of water in here. The recipe calls for 1 cup of water. If you want it thinner, you add more water. If you want it thicker, you just do less water. All right. And you're just gonna blend it up. Yep. There's a fan over here. Hopefully I can open it. Okay, here we go. Now, you can blend it longer if you see chunks in there, but about a tablespoon is kind of like the dosage. You can go up. Remember, this is food. You're not going to overdose on this. And yeah, I could have blended it longer, but just for the time, I didn't. And this is like a shot. You shoot it down every 20 minutes, every hour, depending on how often you need that medicine. I'll have some over here if you guys want to try it. It's pretty hot and sweet, and it actually doesn't taste that bad. I would not give this to a child just because it's so hot. So you don't want to give them that. You can use the other. You can do the poultices and the syrups for children. Okay. Let's see. Did I forget anything else?
So what was that for?
That's your pain,
That's your pain, natural pain relief. So you can do it like if you have a headache, muscle spasms. You can also use this for acid reflux. Okay, if you add some apple cider vinegar to this recipe on your shot, you have an acid reflux relief medicine. Because not only does the pepper helps with hydrochloric acid, the vinegar also is going to help acidify your stomach. And the reason acid reflux even happens is because of the lack of stomach acid. There is a flap right at the esophagus, it's the sphincter, and it goes up. If it stays up, fumes are going to go through the esophagus into the trachea and cause that what we call acid reflux or GERD. Now, that acid in the stomach is what triggers that flap to close. And it closes after, like when we eat, it opens, and when we're done eating and digesting, it closes. But for some people, it stays open, and that's because it didn't get triggered to close. Something like this would be give somebody relief. Actually, I had a client yesterday text me saying that was instant relief. You know, she finally got sleep. She wasn't able to. So I know it works, because I tried it myself. And that, I gave myself heartburn one time. I forgot what I ate. I think my system can't do sourdough breads all the time. And I was so excited. Sourdough bread is supposed to be nutritious, right? It is. But not for everyone. Like me.
So how much apple cider?
I would do like a tablespoon. If you're trying to use it therapeutic for something like acid reflux, I would do like a tablespoon. If you just want to incorporate apple cider vinegar, like 30 minutes before you eat, that's another great way to set the stage for digestion, because it's going to help bring that acidity up. And I think that is the end of my workshop. If you guys have questions, go for it. Yeah, so if you want a shot, now this is thick, guys. I didn't really blend it too well. Maybe I should blend it.
That shot doesn't have cayenne in it, right? It's just turmeric?
No, it has cayenne and hot paprika.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll wait till after I eat.
Let me blend it. Isn't it hot?
So, kind of like what you touched on at the end there, I mean, everybody's body is different. Some people could do like a cayenne pepper shot and it doesn't bother their stomach. My stomach tends to be sensitive. Like oh, okay, the food in it.
Right, right,
You know, some
okay.
people like, yeah, no problem.